And some breaking election results in tonight at 9. Democrat Jon Ossoff just named the winner in the race for the U.S. Senate. That means Ossoff passed more than 50% mark that he needed to avoid a runoff, beating out challengers Teresa Tomlinson and Sarah Riggs Amico. He'll now run against Republican Senator David Perdue in November.
Anger and frustration have morphed into demands for change tonight. Georgia's long lines and polling place problems have the rest of the country, well, frankly, looking down at our state tonight. And one thing that we're learning, the coronavirus pandemic did Georgia no favors. Alicia Roberts begins our team coverage. Alicia.
Rick, one official I spoke with today called it the perfect storm, a health crisis, new election workers, and new voting machines. One day later, the pandemic proved to have a major impact on the polls.
Normally, I wait in line for like maybe an hour, maybe. This time, I've already been in line for 3 hours.
Although Georgia's rescheduled primary came more than a month after the state reopened from coronavirus, it still scared off many experienced poll workers, many who are often older and didn't want to risk COVID-19 exposure.
I was the new guy in my precinct. I was the only one that had never worked an election before.
Cobb elections say they average just 5 to 6 poll workers per precinct instead of 10 under normal circumstances. And many of these new workers could only be trained online, never seeing one of the new voting machines live.
Like even with the training that we've all had, there were still some things that nobody could have foreseen.
Brent Laney was trained for 10 hours in person before the pandemic hit in March, something Fulton County's head of elections says was not possible now.
We would have lost more poll workers had we done in-person training because people weren't comfortable with it.
Coronavirus also forced many schools and churches to opt out of serving as a precinct. Fulton County lost 45.
We don't like to change polling places, but in the middle of this pandemic, we were faced with one polling place after another dropping out.
Fulton County already saying they are looking for ways to improve, assuming a second wave of the pandemic could hit that fall. If that happens, early and absentee voting would be especially key. In Atlanta, Alicia Roberts, CBS 46 News.